నిపో బ్యాటరీల గురించి కొత్తగా పరిచయం అవసరం లేదు. దాదాపు 50 ఏళ్ల ప్రస్థానంలో దేశంలోనే అగ్రగామి బ్యాటరీగా వెలుగొందుతోంది. ప్రస్తుతం విప్లవాత్మక పరిజ్ఞానంతో డీజీ ఆల్కలైన్ నిపో థార్ మార్కెట్లోకి ప్రవేశించింది. ఈ సరికొత్త నిపో బ్యాటరీని వాడి మీ గ్యాడ్జెట్స్ పవర్ ని పెంచుకోండి. నిపో ఫర్ ది న్యూ యూ.
హాయ్, దుల్కర్ సల్మాన్ ప్రతి ఇండస్ట్రీ ఓన్ చేసుకునే న్యాచురల్ యాక్టర్. దుల్కర్ సల్మాన్ ఐశ్వర్య కాంబినేషన్లో వస్తున్న మూవీ కింగ్ ఆఫ్ కోతా గ్యాంగ్స్టర్ డ్రామాగా రాబోతున్న ఈ మూవీ ఆగస్ట్ 24కి ప్రేక్షకుల ముందుకు వస్తోంది. దుల్కర్ కెరీర్లోనే ఈ మూవీ బిగ్గెస్ట్ రిలీజ్ అండ్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ మూవీ అని చెప్తున్నారు. అండ్ ఆడియన్స్కి కూడా ఒక ఫుల్ ప్లేట్ తాళి లాంటి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇస్తుంది ఈ మూవీ అని కూడా చెప్తున్నారు. మరి ఇన్ని ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉన్న ఈ మూవీ గురించి మరిన్ని ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ విషయాల్ని ఎన్టీవీతో షేర్ చేసుకోవడానికి హీరో దుల్కర్ అండ్ హీరోయిన్ ఐశ్వర్య ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడదాం. హలో అండి. నమస్తే. ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
బాగున్నాను. I've only been promoting Guns and Gulabs was some 10 days and now this. I hope I talk about the right film, right project.
Okay. So ట్రైలర్ చూసిన తర్వాత మీ మూవీ మీద చాలా ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ క్రియేట్ అయ్యాయి. సో ఒక డిఫరెంట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇవ్వబోతుందని ట్రైలర్ చూసినప్పుడే అనిపించింది. అండ్ మీరు కూడా చెప్తున్నారు కంప్లీట్ ఒక తాళి లాంటి మూవీ ఇస్తున్నాం ఆడియన్స్ కని.
I hope so. But basically it's a gangster drama. Like friendship, love, everything, all family equations, everything mixed together in one, which why I call it a thali. I feel like it has everything. A lot of action sequences, or football is a big thing in the film. So yeah, past I think 1 year I've only been doing this film. So it's a big film for me. So yeah.
Okay. So ఐశ్వర్య అండ్ ప్రతి హీరోయిన్ కూడా దుల్కర్తో యాక్ట్ చేయాలని ఒక చిన్న డ్రీమ్ ఉంటుంది. సో మీకు ఈ మూవీలో వర్క్ చేసే ఆపర్చునిటీ వచ్చింది. ఫస్ట్ మీకు స్టోరీ విన్నప్పుడు ఈ మూవీలో యాక్ట్ చేయాలి అని విన్నప్పుడు మీరు ఎలా ఫీల్ అయ్యారు?
I was very happy because it's one of the biggest films that Malayalam industry has produced. So to be a small part in that film is
She's not a small part.
No, but prati okate character is very important. So because of that I am also important. And so everybody is important. I'm happy to be a part of the film, not a small part.
ఓకే. సో దుల్కర్ మీ దగ్గర నుంచి ఒక మూవీ వస్తుందంటే ఆడియన్స్లో ఒక ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ ఉంటుంది మీ స్క్రిప్ట్ సెలెక్షన్ మీద. సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటుంది, ఒక మంచి సినిమాతోనే దుల్కర్ వస్తారు అని. ఈవెన్ తెలుగులో కూడా మీరు చేసిన మూవీస్ చూస్తే మీ టేస్ట్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, మీ సెలెక్షన్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో తెలుస్తుంది. సో ఈ మూవీ మీ కెరీర్లోనే బిగ్గెస్ట్ మూవీ అంటున్నారు. సో చాలా ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో అది కూడా ఫస్ట్ టైం డైరెక్టర్తో చేసిన మూవీ బిగ్గెస్ట్ రిలీజ్ అంటున్నారు. సో హౌ?
I don't నేను ఈ మూవీ choose time low, like I don't see if it's new director, veteran director, if there's something in that script that excites me, if it's unique, if it's telling a very original story, I get excited. E genre I've never done this full massy gangster type film. I've done some gangster film but not so commercial. So it's something I've got offers in the past but nothing excited me so much. But I think this has a very strong drama at the base. There's a lot of relationships and misunderstandings and conflicts and all that. So I was like, okay, this substance is good. Now how do we make it a big spectacle? Because I think now people want to come to theatres for a theatrical experience. Especially Malayalam, when we do small films, people aren't so excited. They wait to hear word of mouth or they wait for it to come on OTT. So I think now for people to come to the cinemas, you have to create a spectacle. So we decided to make it as big as possible, as grand as possible. So I think I'm happy with how it's turned out. But I've never done something like this before, so I'm also nervous.
ఓకే. సో మీ కెరీర్లోనే బిగ్గెస్ట్ మూవీ అని చెప్తున్నారు కదా, ఏ ఆస్పెక్ట్లో?
I think in terms of scale, because Malayalam we don't do very big scale films, and also in the past 12 years my career has been slowly growing. So I couldn't dream of big budgets when I was starting out. Now I think after this much time and this much work in different industries, I think I can maybe do something big. So this is that first attempt. So for my production also, this is a very big endeavor in terms of scale, shoot days. We shot fully in Karikudi. We erected a big set. In terms of budgets, we got a big star cast. So we've tried to give it everything we can. So it's been a big struggle also, but challenging. But I think it's worth it. When you believe in something, I think you should give everything to it.
ఓకే సో ఐశ్వర్య మీరు స్టోరీ విన్నప్పుడు డెఫినెట్గా ఒక ఆడియన్ లాగానే వింటారు. సో మీకు డైరెక్టర్ ఫస్ట్ స్టోరీ నరేట్ చేసినప్పుడు మీకు ఫస్ట్ క్రియేట్ అయిన ఫీలింగ్ ఏంటి?
I couldn't imagine the scale. Whatever he was saying, it was huge.
Okay.
So I couldn't imagine it as a Malayalam film. Maybe a Telugu film, not as a Malayalam film.
Okay.
So it was difficult to understand the scale of it, and then I'm coming to the set in Karakudi. It is huge, and I'm asking people, "This is a set? Is this a set? You made things here?" Then they showed me how the area was. It was like 4 acres of land where nothing was there. Maybe one pond was already there, but that's it. They erected a whole town there. So that was something that was incomprehensible for me. But the story is of very complicated relationships because Sir plays a gangster, and gangster I'm
Don't call me
guessing.
sir, call me like, make me feel very old.
No, not like that. I meant like
Imagine
Sir
coloring
play.
my grays, putting mascara on my beard.
Okay, fine. DK plays a gangster, and I'm guessing gangsters could have complicated relationships. So this is all about that, but very interestingly portrayed. Everything is larger than life. My character, the arc of the character, what happens between them, everything is very interesting for me.
ఓకే
Yeah.
సో దుల్కర్ మీరు చాలా టైర్డ్గా కనిపిస్తున్నారు. కెన్ ఐ సింగ్ వన్ సాంగ్? మీలో జోష్
Yeah, please, please.
Usually it's the other way around. People ask, can you
I'm
sing
like,
one
please
song?
don't make me sing. I'm a very bad singer.
So you will sing.
జస్ట్ జోక్ చేసా.
No, now you have to sing.
నేను అంత
This is about 1 month I've only been promoting. I've only been dubbing. I think my second job is a dubbing artist. I dubbed
Four
that-
languages.
languages.
That
four
means
languages
four
of
languages.
this, and then 5 languages of Guns and Gulabs. I dubbed in English also for Guns and Gulabs.
Oh.
So now if I see a dubbing suite, I think engineers are only feeling bad for me. They're like, sir, why are you doing this? I said, I don't know.
No, but I heard Nani dubbed for you. Nani garu dubbed for you in Telugu initially.
Okay Bangaram was Nani's voice. So I think it was. He
Mahanati
was part of my.
nunchi-
I started dubbing from there.
Yeah.
తను డబ్బింగ్ చెప్తున్నారు.
So I have to say something. It might give you energy. Even though I'm a Malayali and I've seen a lot of DQ's Malayalam films, for me one of the most favorite character that he has done is Mahanati. I remember texting you
After
at
watching it,
I was so impressed because he dubbed in Telugu. I think first time you're dubbing in
yeah,
Telugu
yeah.
for that film. It looked so natural. It like I think audience accept you more when you actually dub for your voice. When you actually hear the actors speaking in their own voice for a character.
సో ఆఫ్టర్ మహానటి అండ్ సీతారామం రెండు కూడా చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్ మూవీస్. ఆ మూవీస్ తర్వాత నుంచి ఆటోమేటిక్గా తెలుగు ఆడియన్స్ మిమ్మల్ని ఓన్ చేసేసుకున్నారు, దుల్కర్ అంటే మా హీరో అని. సో మీరు ఇప్పుడు ప్రమోషన్స్కి ఇక్కడికి రావడం, మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళతో ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవ్వడం ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది?
I feel really blessed because it's very rare, I think, to get this kind of acceptance. So it's also the films I got. I think that my directors also, projected me so nicely, and they made me look good and everything. But I love coming back to Hyderabad. I think the energy of the people, the love of the people, and the love for cinema here is very different from. And I work in all these industries, and I think there's a very special love the Telugu audience has for cinema, which they're so accepting of everything, every actor or every technician, from irrespective. Even when we did Sitaram, it had actors from all over India, it had technicians from all over India, and everybody was coming together to make something special. And the audience sees it as a film. They're not separating you or where you're from. And I think it so beautifully happens here. Everybody's accepted. So I'm very grateful. I love coming back. I want to do more straight Telugu films. I love the language. Even though
తెలుగు చాలా బాగా మాట్లాడుతున్నారు.
I'm very shy to speak. I mean, in my head things are coming, but I'm just like,
Yeah, same.
I'm like, what if it comes out wrong? What if I mix it up? But
మీరు తెలుగు ట్రై చేయండి, నేను కరెక్ట్ చేస్తాను.
trailer launch, I was like, I'm going to write my speech. I sent it to a friend. I said, please translate it. And you've been dubbing in Telugu. So I think always when I start dubbing, that first day is the only, like first 2 hours, maybe it takes me a little time to get back into it. Then I get into the flow. But for someone like, when I dub in all these languages, I think it's the most expressive language. There's a way that you can express in Telugu that you can't in other languages, I think. There's words for everything. It doesn't sound literary. You can be poetic, you can be flowery, but it still translates very beautifully on screen. So when I dub into other language, I feel like I can't get the full meaning like in Telugu. There's a certain beauty about the language.
సో మీకు మలయాళం తర్వాత
So I told Hanu sir, do you know somebody who can give me lessons? Maybe from set, I'll do some Zoom Telugu classes so I can at least start speaking. I really don't like promoting in English. I feel like I'm doing something very wrong. But my thinking is always in English,
నెక్స్ట్
unfortunately.
మూవీకి మీరు
Definitely.
ట్రై చేయండి.
Yeah, definitely.
సో మీరు 4 లాంగ్వేజెస్లో డబ్బింగ్ చెప్పారు కదా ఈ మూవీ కోసం. మీకు మలయాళం తర్వాత అంత కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఈజీగా డబ్బింగ్ చెప్పాలి అనిపించే లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏది?
I think Malayalam is my mother tongue, so I've grown up speaking it at home.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Chennai, so Tamil is my third language in school. So I would speak it. Also in Chennai, you speak it a lot. Hindi was my second language. Hindi, I had a lot of exposure, especially weirdly in college in America, because so many kids from all the different states. The only common language we had besides English was Hindi. So even if it's bad Hindi, broken Hindi, accent, no problem.
Okay.
Like I'll have friends from Hyderabad, from Maharashtra, from everywhere, and we'll all speak in Hindi, especially behind foreigners' backs. If we have to say something like mean or something, we'll only speak in Hindi. So I think I got over that shyness of speaking. I'm still very conscious of my keys and cars in Hindi, because Hindi is the only language with gender for everything. Yeah, but not so much as a gender, which is a bit. Even Hindi-speaking people can't. If you say, is the phone masculine or feminine, they won't know. They have to put it in a sentence and say it. And they're like, ha. So everybody arrives at it. So that is the only thing I'm conscious about. But yeah, but I need to start speaking in Telugu.
I'm thinking back to my classes. I'm mixing 2 languages. I don't know where I was taught the grammar of gender.
సో దుల్కర్ మీరు ఎన్ని లాంగ్వేజెస్ కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఇప్పటివరకు మాట్లాడతారు?
I think to speak Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi. Hindi also I'm a little shy. Like my fear is I don't want to offend the audience by speaking badly, or getting the language wrong. It's out of respect, I think. That's my thing. But
కన్నడ, తెలుగు.
Kannada I have not much exposure.
తెలుగు ఓకే.
Telugu now I can understand. So now every interview I'm fully understanding what you're saying. And I know what I want to say in my head, but I'm just like somewhere it'll get mixed up. Or also this big mash of languages are happening in my head.
Yes,
So sometimes some Tamil will come, that consciousness is there.
రైట్. సో ఐశ్వర్య ఈ మూవీ ఫస్ట్ స్టోరీ విన్నప్పుడు తన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చెప్పారు. మీరు డైరెక్టర్ వచ్చి ఫస్ట్ నరేట్ చేసినప్పుడు మీరు ఒక ఆడియన్గా ఫీల్ అయిన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏంటి?
So it wasn't a process like that. So the director is my very first friend in life. He's my oldest friend.
ఓకే ఓకే.
So his father used to direct, and and there used to be a team of his father is a director, my father is the hero, and another gentleman as a producer. So all of us children grew up together.
Okay.
So family holidays and all that. So I think we both knew we wanted to do something in cinema growing up. So after he became an ad filmmaker, then he worked with his father, and we've always discussed movies. So he's like, when I do my first film, ideally I want to do it with you. So for some 4 years, I kept listening to scripts that he found, and I was like, no, because as an actor, I get many chances. I said, you have one debut to make your mark as a director, so you should do something special. So anything that I feel like sounded typical or done before, I said, this is not your film. So I think one day he was ready to give up. He's like, I don't think we're going to do a movie together. You don't like anything I like, so forget it, leave it. I said, no, let's keep trying. Then he found this script, and I said, there's something in this. It's not fully there. I think there's something interesting in this, something original in this. Because I love inter-character conflicts and dynamics. I think because we're all very human, and we all have a lot of relationships in our lives, whether it's our parents, our friends, our, colleagues or lovers or whatever. And all these things affect our lives. Even when you're working, if something is not good at home, it affects your work. Or at your work, there can be a conflict with your boss or your colleague. That affects things. So I love to find these, human dramas. So I said, there's something in this. Let's work on. Then we went through almost like, I think 7 or 8 versions of the script. So it was a long process. I think some 5-6 years we've been working on.
సో మీరు కంప్లీట్గా ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయ్యారు?
Yeah. So because I knew I was going to produce it, and I knew I wanted to mount it. And I said, this is a genre I'm going to try for the first time. So I don't fully understand, I don't fully know it. But as somebody, as a viewer, as a consumer of this type of content, I like these films to have a lot happening. There should be a lot of scale, and there should be a lot of events, and so we try to incorporate all that. But the writer is also, I think, very, very unique. He has a very unique voice, and he understands all this. So this film is full of so many relationships, and so much of that conflict, I think, comes into the. So essentially, it's a very, at the base of it, I think it's a drama in many ways. It's not just a fully commercial, massy film, because I don't fully understand that. I love watching all our superstars do it, but I don't know if that is me. So I think my movies have to have a strong storyline and stuff.
ట్రైలర్ చూసినప్పుడు మూవీ అంతా కూడా ఒక డార్క్ మోడ్లో లైక్ ఒక రాగా కనిపించింది. సో ఎప్పుడు ఏ టైం పీరియడ్లో జరిగే స్టోరీగా చూపించారు ఇది మీరు?
There's 2 time periods in the film,
Okay.
86 and 96.
Okay.
So we try to capture the essence of both periods. And I think, I don't know, for some reason I'm like one period actor.
Okay.
All my movies, I only wear modern clothes for promotions.
Yes, exactly.
In my movies, I'm always in retro clothes.
Vintage soul.
Yeah,
ఏదో సమ్ కనెక్షన్ ఉంది మీకు?
I don't know, maybe I think in my house also, I think my father is very ultra modern, very future thinking, and I'm like one old soul. I
Going
like
back.
old things. He likes new gadgets and everything. But I'm enjoying it. You know, I think when I was young, maybe in the early 90s or late 80s, Malayalam used to tell period stories because we could maybe afford that scale. Then the business changed a lot, and filmmaking became even more expensive. So we couldn't afford to do period films. So I think when I started, I didn't think it would be possible for me to do period films. I thought it's too big, too expensive, and I don't have that kind of stardom or whatever to afford that, to greenlight a film like that.
ఓకే.
So when Mahanati came to me, I was like in Disneyland. I was just like, wow. Every day I'll come to set and I was like, wow. And I look at art and my phone is full of pictures of art property.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
So then I think then Kurup happened. So all these films happened, and now I think I have, even in my lineup, there's always a bunch of period films. But I think it's a luxury that I didn't think I could ever afford. So today when I get this opportunity, I love doing it. But also I think period allows you to tell different kinds of stories.
Yes, true.
Like a Sitaramam is all
Some
about
genuine stories
letter
also.
writing. Today
Yeah.
nobody's writing letters. You can't tell that story set today. So I think a lot of filmmakers choose to tell certain stories in period because there's a certain romance to it. Communication wasn't easy. Everything took effort. You know, if you have to see somebody, to go and see them, you can't video call them or something. So there's not having a mobile phone in a narrative, in a script, opens many other doors. Gives you more conflict, I think.
సో ఐశ్వర్య మల్టిపుల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్లో మీరు కూడా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు, లైక్ తమిళ్, తెలుగు అండ్ మలయాళం. సో ఒక మూవీతో మల్టిపుల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్లో రిలీజ్కి వచ్చినప్పుడు మీ ఇన్నర్ ఫీలింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది? ఒకటేసారి అన్ని ఆడియన్స్ని రీచ్ అవుతారు కదా అన్ని లాంగ్వేజెస్లో.
Yes. So that is a added bonus,
Yes.
I think. I put in effort and my love all towards filming in one language, but audience across the world give me extra love for the same film, which is a great feeling to have. And one of the most favorite characters that I have played is also in Telugu. Ammu is one film that I've played. It's a character close to my heart. And even though that film was in Telugu, I think the maximum reach I got, or the maximum like people responded for it in every other language, and from Malayalam also. A lot of people watched it in Malayalam. I couldn't even dub for the film in Malayalam because I was working in another film at that point of time.
ఓకే.
But I love that even though the language is different, my voice was not there, but the emotion connected to everybody. But what that lady was going through the film connected to everybody. So I'm very, very happy that our movies and the emotions that we try to portray and do on screen connects to everybody.
సో దుల్కర్, మీ క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే ఇన్ని రోజులు మీరు డిఫరెంట్ మూవీస్లో కనిపించిన క్యారెక్టర్కి ఈ క్యారెక్టర్కి అసలు ఎక్కడ 1% కూడా లుక్స్ కానీ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్ కానీ ఏది కూడా మ్యాచ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. సో ఈ గ్యాంగ్స్టర్ డ్రామాలో ఈ క్యారెక్టర్ మీకు ఇచ్చిన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఏంటి, ఎలా ఫీల్ అయ్యారు?
No, I think both audience and actors, we want to be surprised constantly. I think it's very easy to look at an actor or filmmaker and say, this is what he does. We know his acting, or we know his films. We know this director's type of films. So when they surprise you, either by fully shifting genre or doing a completely unique character, is when the audience also sees, even we get to experience a range in some way. So I think for me to jump to this from, I think it was a very interesting year for me, like whether it's Sitaramam and then Chup was this serial killer, and then in Guns and Gulabs I'm playing a slightly older cop role, and then this is a fully rustic, raw gangster film. It keeps things exciting for me, and I think I get to try different things, whether it's body language, whether it's looking a certain way, or I lived with that hair for like for 1 year.
Okay.
So I think all that gives you, also as actors, we find our character in the way we look, in the way in our clothes, in the way the scene is set, or in the way the sets are looking. You know, it feels like you're stepping into period. It feels like you're going into that world. So I think all our departments help us actors achieve that, and that's what I find exciting. And I'm hoping the audience sees Raju and not me in the film.
They won't.
I think that's the goal.
They won't. Raju is very volatile and you're the
సో ఈ
opposite.
క్యారెక్టర్ ఇచ్చిన సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ ఏంటి మీకు ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీటింగ్ ద మూవీ యాజ్ అన్ యాక్టర్?
As an actor, I think completing the movie was a big accomplishment because we shot almost 7-8 months. There was so much. Like when I read the script, I was like, this is going to be a big effort.
ఓకే.
Like everything, every second scene is a big setup. We have big crowds and big sequences. I was like, how are we going to do this? It felt like I'm going to climb a mountain. So I think the biggest satisfaction was to complete it. It's like you finished a race. It felt like that. But I think it was exciting for me to find Raju and be him, and he's a bit complex as a character. Like she said, he's very volatile. He reacts very quickly. I don't. I'm very calm. So I think to find that rage inside me, or to find that those emotions in me was interesting as an actor. I'm hoping it translates, because sometimes I think I can never look angry. Like I don't know if anger shows my, like other emotions are okay, but this anger thing is not there in my face.
ఓకే. సో లాస్ట్ 1 year మొత్తం కూడా మీరు ఈ మూవీలోనే వర్క్ చేశాను అని చెప్పారు, అండ్ మల్టిపుల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్లో బిజీగా ఉండే మీరు ఒక మూవీ కోసం డెడికేటెడ్గా వర్క్ చేశారు, ప్లస్ ఆడియన్స్కేమో ఫుల్ తాళీ లాంటి మూవీ ఇవ్వబోతున్నామని చెప్తున్నారు. సో బిగ్గెస్ట్ మూవీ మీ కెరీర్లో అంటున్నారు. సో ఫైనల్గా ఆడియన్స్కి ఎలాంటి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇస్తుంది కింగ్ ఆఫ్ కోథా?
I think especially to the audience, I mean, the biggest complaint I hear from every industry is why a movie is delayed? Why is the next one taking time? So usually I try to do 3-4 films a year, so I'm everywhere. So if I had to give 1 year to a film, it's because I really believed in it, and I wanted to try something new, and I wanted to give it a full, big experience. So I'm hoping that that all the effort is paid off, and you're entertained, and you're moved, and you laugh and you cry, and you feel like a gangster when you watch the film. And we have wonderful women characters in the film, and they're all very crucial to the storyline. And at the base of it, there's a big friendship story. So yeah, I don't know how to describe the movie. You can't say it as one. I keep saying I think it's a gangster drama because it's very difficult to define it. I'm like, how do we pitch this film? Like it's
ఓకే.
yeah. So I think once people see it, they'll know what I'm trying to explain. But yeah, at the core of it, I think it's a great drama.
మనం చాలా గ్యాంగ్స్టర్ మూవీస్ చూసాము, చాలా పెద్ద పెద్ద బ్లాక్ బస్టర్స్ మూవీస్ చూసాము. ఎక్కడైనా మనకు ఆ చిన్న ఫీల్ కనిపిస్తుందా, లైక్ ఇంతకుముందు మనం చూసిన గ్యాంగ్స్టర్, లేదంటే కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్గా మూవీని తీసుకొచ్చారా?
I don't know. Like you said, I think the audience expects a certain script level from the films I choose. Now it's become pressure, I think. Every time I read a script, I'm like, I don't know if this is unique. I don't know if this has depth. So I think they will come towards this film expecting it to be not just a massy gangster film. They are going to expect a story. They are going to expect conflict and good writing. So I think this has all that. I think this is my type of a massy commercial gangster film.
సో దుల్కర్ మళ్ళీ తెలుగులో నెక్స్ట్ ఎప్పుడు కనిపించబోతున్నారు?
I'm going to do Lucky Bhaskar with Venki Atluri.
Okay,
It's my straight Telugu film.
Okay.
It's an interesting genre film. It is also, I think, slightly set in period.
Okay.
But
Again?
yeah, again. That's what I'm saying. I don't live in today. Apparently, on screen I only live in period. But it's lovely, and I really like Venki, his ideas, and he's a very sweet boy, and he has a lot of love for cinema. He's very collaborative. Like we're always talking and brainstorming ideas for the film and stuff. So I think that will be the next straight film. I've heard some others also which I like. There's another one, but it's too soon to talk about.
సో అండ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కే గురించి కూడా మేము చాలా ఈగర్గా వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నాము. సో ప్రాజెక్ట్ కేలో మీ పోర్షన్ కంప్లీట్ అయిందా?
I can't reveal anything about Project K, but I'll just tell you, I went to the set and I was blown away. I thought it is such a, only Nagi can think like that. And so he's an actor, he's a director who surprises you, right?
Yes.
Whether it's the first film, what is the name of that film? I forget. Everyday Subramanyam.
Yeah.
Completely different shift to Mahanati, and then he goes and does Project K, which is set in the future, and the sets are so interesting because there's pretty much nothing there. It's all in his imagination. And
అట్లీస్ట్ మీకు ఎవరి కాంబినేషన్లో సీన్స్ ఉంటాయా తెలుసుకోవచ్చా? ప్రాజెక్ట్ కేలో లైక్ ప్రభాస్తో కాంబినేషన్ సీన్స్ ఉంటాయా? లైక్
I still shouldn't be talking about it. I don't know if I'm in the film or not. Yeah. Let's not talk about Project K. We'll stick to K.
ఓకే డన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ దుల్కర్ అండ్ ఐశ్వర్య.
Thank
సో
you.
కింగ్ ఆఫ్ కోతా డెఫినెట్గా ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ చాలా క్రియేట్ చేసింది ట్రైలర్ చూసిన తర్వాత. అండ్ దుల్కర్ మూవీ వస్తుందంటే ఖచ్చితంగా చూడాలి అనే ఫీలింగ్ ఆడియన్స్లో ఉంటుంది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ స్క్రిప్ట్స్.
Thank you.
సో మీ కెరీర్లోనే బిగ్గెస్ట్ మూవీ అంటున్నారు. సో బిగ్గెస్ట్ బ్లాక్ బస్టర్ అవ్వాలని మేము కూడా కోరుకుంటున్నాం.
Thank you.
All the
Thank
best.
you so much. Thank you.